It's time for the Georgia State Sports Update. Dave Cohen joined in studio this week. In our first segment, head coach Ron Hunter, as Georgia State basketball finishes up the regular season, getting ready to head now to Lakefront Arena in New Orleans. Going to take on Texas State in the first round of the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. Georgia State finishing up at 16-13 will be the number 6 seed in the tournament's opening round. Coach, great to have you back in studio, and a pretty good finish to the regular season. We go to Louisiana, get to go to Lafayette and Monroe, come back to Atlanta. Now we got to go back to New Orleans.
Yeah, I should be paying taxes in the state of Louisiana now, as much as we spend time there. But we're looking forward to it. Again, we've had a kind of an inexperienced team, and I thought finished the season off pretty well. And finished up in Louisiana with a combined record of 22-1 with the home records of both teams we played. And so we went in and got a split, which is what you want to get on the road. So really like where we are mentally right now. I think we're playing our best basketball at this point.
All right, again, Georgia State goes into the Cajun Dome in Lafayette, one of the tougher places in the Sun Belt Conference to play if you're on the road. And let's be honest, if we're going in asking for a split, let's get the win at the Cajun Dome in Lafayette. It always feels great to walk out of that building, walk back across the street to the hotel with a W. Yeah,
it does. It's the only place in the world where my family gets called different names. And so it's a unique place, to say the least. But we've had some great games in there. And, of course, since we've been in the league, we've had great rivalries with Lafayette. So to win in there, and we've won 2 out of the last 3 times in that building. So it's safe to say they don't like us very much. But no, that was a good win for us. We were happy to get that. And I wanted to see offensively how well we played after coming off the App State game, and we kind of kept that going. So really like how we went in and we approached that game.
The Panthers, still having won now 3 of their last 5 heading into the postseason tournament, yet 5 in double figures at Lafayette, led by Kevin Ware, 16.
Yeah, I thought we're just playing better. We're moving the ball. I think we had 32 field goals, something we haven't had all year. We had the most points we've, for the most part, scored on the road at that time. So really felt good about it because, again, Lafayette really needed to have that win to secure that bye, and we knew that Sean Long would play well. And what we did to Sean Long was probably the most impressive. Holding him to only 11 points was really impressive, and in my opinion, the player of the year in our conference.
Marcus Kreider had 14 points. You had 2 with 13, including Austin Donaldson. He was 5 for 5. He scored 13 points in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I thought when we brought him off the bench, it changed the game. We took Kevin Ware out, and we brought Austin in. I thought he did a great job of getting to the basket, got some layup, but he had 2 big deflections, which, we were down 5 at the time, and when he came into the game, we got the lead and never gave it back.
All right, and then the Panthers went on to Monroe, Louisiana, and ended up taking it on the chin there, 91-78 the final score. We sat in this chair a week ago talking about Louisiana-Monroe before we went on that trip, and I remember asking you how quietly they had been how well they'd been playing all year, and that they were in second place, and nobody was really talking about them.
Yeah, well, I've been talking about them because 6 of their top 7 players are seniors, and when you have that from a team that finished 3rd or 4th last year, you knew that they were going to be pretty good this year, extremely well coached, and I thought the first 10, 11 minutes of the game we were playing really well. Kind of got a lead, got a 9-point lead, and I thought I thought we were playing great. I didn't know if we could sustain it, but their seniors are really good. Senior guards outside of Capola, he's the only junior that's in that group. But they withstood a lot. They were 13-0 going, or 12-0 going into their place, and to win both of those games, we would have been having to play exceptional well to beat. I said before, they were 22-1 going in, and we thought, boy, if we could just get a split on that trip. And I think what happened is we got it, and I think we relaxed. We knew we couldn't improve much more in the conference tournament, and I thought for the first time this year, we just kind of threw our hands up and say, okay, let's get to the tournament.
Well, Georgia State beat them earlier in the year in Atlanta. To me, watching them out there on Saturday, Majuk Deng, who a lot of folks will have as maybe the player of the year if they didn't vote for Sean Long, he had 22.7 rebounds. Jamal Samuel, also about 6'9", 6'10". The 2 of them in the post make it awfully hard to get anything in the paint.
Yeah, they're so long, and they're 1'6'11", and I thought we did a great job on Deng the first time, and we let him get free. Too many dunks, too many threes. He just got free too much in that game, and again, if you want to beat them, you've got to really stop Deng.
Well, so Georgia State will head to New Orleans and compete in the Sun Belt Conference basketball tournament. You look at the number of points scored, and we talked about this as well. Georgia State right around 65 points per game, but came on here late in the season. We were scoring points in the 70s and in the 80s, the 83 against App State late in the year.
Yeah, the great thing is we are scoring. What's concerning to me is our defense is slipping a little bit because we've concentrated so much in the last couple of weeks on our offense that our defense has slipped a little bit. But I still believe that, and I'll continue to say, to win in postseason, to win late in the year, you've got to be good defensively. And remember, we won a championship only scoring 38 points a year ago. So we got to make sure that our defense is there. That's something we really got to work on and make sure that we are really get back to where we're playing great defense and then have our offense continue to improve.
All right, real quick before we go to our next segment, quick scouting report on Texas State.
Yeah, we played them twice this year. Great defensively. I think they're second or third in the league defensively. Again, they're kind of methodical in regards to how they play. We match up well with them because, again, their inside presence is that we got a good job, and our matchup kind of stymies them a little bit. And it'll have to on Thursday night. But, again, I think that, this is a good team. They're playing their best basketball at the right time right now. They're excited to be in a tournament. So right now, everyone's 0-0. There's no records anymore. So now it's a new season for everyone, and it's who's playing the best basketball to go to the NCAA tournament.
All right, so Georgia State will be at the Lakefront Arena in New Orleans for the Sun Belt Conference tournament. As we move to our next segment, one of the nice things about the tournament, you always bring the cheerleaders, you bring the dance team. Our Callie Mann caught up with members of the dance and cheerleader team as they get ready to bring the Spirit Squad to New Orleans.
Dave, the Spirit Squad is really bringing a lot of energy here to the crowd tonight and getting fans pumped for the game. Lauren, what is the difference between Pantherettes and cheerleaders?
Pantherettes, we're more of the dancers of the Spirit Squad. Cheerleaders, they do more of tumbling and calling out chants and cheering to the crowd, and we do more halftime routines and media timeout routines and cute little dances on the sidelines while they're playing games.
So tell me a little bit about the energy of the cheerleader, of the energy of you guys. What's the energy like in the team?
The energy is always good during a game, and we like to get each other pumped up and get the team pumped up, and then that gets us pumped up, so it's a big cycle.
We're always excited and ready to come to the games. We actually wear t-shirts now that say Game Today, so we're like advertising the game throughout the day, and we're always having tons of energy and tons of excitement. Even before the game start, we're always talking about we can't wait to get here, and we can't wait to see who's here in the crowd and to perform our routines for Pantherettes just so we could get the reaction from the crowd.
I'd say it's stressful at times, but we all work together to make it happen. And the energies among my teammates are great. They're so great, and I don't think I could do this without them. They're awesome.
It's really dynamic. It's a lot of different personalities. We have people who are calm, people who are energetic, who help bring the calm people up, and it's just we mesh really well. So when we perform or just even do game day routines, we just feed off each other, and it's really nice.
We all love each other, pretty much. We spend a lot of time together. So spend that much time together, these people kind of become like your sister, your best friend, so lifelong partners.
How are our cheerleaders really getting the crowd into the game lately?
Oh, they know how to get us on our feet.
The Spirit Squad does a really good job getting the fans excited to cheer on the team throughout the entire game.
Oh my gosh, me and my friends, we try to copy them, so we're just GSU, and we look so crazy, but they're awesome. They really give us the spirit that Georgia State needs. If it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't get out of our seats, so go cheerleaders.
They're great. They're always doing something down here to keep the fans involved. Seem to be real energetic, and they're definitely talented.
They're awesome. I actually have a few friends on the cheerleading team, and they're great, and they're wonderful, and they pep you up. They get you excited for the game, and they're very talented.
People underestimate the job of the cheerleaders. I think they're just dancing around and stuff, but they actually play such a huge part in just the spirit and the morale of the game. So we definitely have some beautiful cheerleaders, of course, and it's exciting to see them excited about the game.
Oh, cheerleaders, they're awesome. They come out here, they do their moves, they dances. You gotta love it.
I feel like the cheerleaders and the dancers are just an extra component for the students to really get excited. They bring another element of energy, so it's kind of layers. Back to your first question, layers that just kind of proceed to create this large, energetic atmosphere that gets the students hyped. They dance to great songs, they're energetic, so the energy just kind of transfers to the students.
What's your favorite part about being on the cheerleading squad?
My favorite part of being on the cheerleading team is impacting like students. Because even when I walk into class, there's my teachers that is like, you're a cheerleader, I saw you perform X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, it makes me feel happy that I'm actually doing something people can remember it and take back from it.
Honestly, it's a lot of fun. Like, people don't expect that, but it's really fun. I love being around the sports teams, being involved, being able to travel. So yeah.
Honestly, dance just makes me happy. Like, it's something that I've always wanted to do, and as a child, I couldn't really afford it. My mom couldn't afford it. So I kind of was just like, I'm going to get on YouTube, I'm going to learn this stuff, I'm going to watch other people dance and learn what they do. So I'm kind of pretty much self-taught, and for me, it's just a drive. I just love to do it.
Definitely the games, especially when it comes to travel season. I've gotten a chance to travel with the Sun Belt for the past 2 years, and then last year we went to the NCAA. So it's just a great opportunity, not just to be here at the school, but to also travel and to be ambassadors for your school outside of the state.
When you're out there cheering on the court, what's going through your mind? What's going through your heart?
Don't mess up. Don't mess up. Everybody's watching you. And then another thing, I'm like, you should know your stuff, so you cannot mess up. That's my main thing going through my head.
Really, I'm pumped. So most of the time, I'm like ready to perform. So even though I'm on the sideline, I'm kind of like going over the routine a little bit in my head, but still having like that smile on my face, looking at the game. So, but I actually love basketball, so I'm actually watching the game too. So
I feel nervous, and I also feel excited because I feel like we're kind of like the conductors for the crowd. When we're hyped, they're hyped, so we can never be low. We have to be hyped. So basically, it's kind of like I'm on the spotlight, but it's like I feed off of that to give it to the crowd.
You know, Dave, I'm really starting to see just how much the Spirit Squad is pumping up the energy to the crowd and the players. Back to you.
All right, Dave Cohen back in studio with Georgia State's head basketball coach Ron Hunter. Again, the Panthers in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament at Lakefront Arena in New Orleans. This gives us time to talk about a few other things. You've had a busy year when you look back at the season, and I'm not even talking about just going back and everything that happened post-NCAA tournament last year. Coach, you served as the NABC president this year. Talk a little bit about that role and what that entails and how much time, you've had to put into that position.
Yeah, it's been interesting. The last 11 months of my life have probably been the busiest profession I've ever had. Also, not only being a president, I'm also on the enhancement committee also in regards to changing the rules in college basketball. So I have been in more meetings than I care to say, to be honest with you. But it's been a blessing, and especially to be the president of the Coaches Association, and that officially ends for me on April the 6th. And I've really appreciated it, but I'm glad that it's over because it is a time where it takes a lot of time out in regards to just kind of being talk about our game and changes in our game and making things better and making things different for us, and whether it's rules, regulations, or issues that we've got in our profession. And so, as we call, we're guardians of the game. And so it's important that the decisions that we make sure that it's not only better for now, but it's better when I'm done coaching and 20 years from now our game continues to grow. So it's important that we do that.
Well, one of the big changes this year, the one that was probably most talked about, was the shot clock from 35 seconds, which it had been for a number of years, down to 30 with the intent on speeding up the game a little bit.
Yeah, and the numbers have shown that over this past year, the games are going by quicker, and all the numbers indicate that from even points. The other part is that we wanted the game more exciting, and we wanted to create more offense, and so the numbers have dictated that we're up. I think almost 2 points, not quite, but almost 2 points a game, which is a significant number in a short period of time. And so there's even talk to maybe even reducing it even more. We may even do what the women do. We may go to quarters. We want to continue to move because, again, we're in an area now where we have to entertain. Right. And so it's important that we don't, from our sponsors to everything else in college basketball, that our game stays relevant. And so there might have to be some more changes in that regards, whether it's, again, going to quarters or changing the number of fouls or reducing the number of timeouts. So there's a lot of things that still need to be done, but we're headed in the right direction.
Well, when they talk about going to quarters, is that also with the thought process of keeping more in line with the pro game?
Yeah, a little bit, but not much. Again, the program is so different from the college game, but what it does, if you look at the women's game now, the women's games actually go by quicker. Because of quarters. And so I think that's something we really have to look at. Again, the traditionalists will say, well, let's keep it the way we've got it. But I think the old 20-minute half thing, I think is something that it's a little outdated now. And again, I like it because what it does is that after every quarter, it changes the fouls. It goes back to zero. Right. And so again, the game just kind of moves a little bit quicker that way.
Again, Coach Hunter with us here in studio as we focus in on the Sun Belt Conference. When you go to postseason, since we've been in the Sun Belt, only the top 8 go out of the 12 schools or out of the 11 schools. I kind of like that. I mean, I know the argument on both sides because we saw all schools go when we were in the Colonial Athletic Association. All 12 would go. The Sun Belt with 11 makes the regular season worth something. Yeah, it really does. I mean, I've been in both ways. I've played in that situation. I've also coached in both situations in that regard. But at the end of the day, what we do is for student athletes. Right. And I find it very hard. If you take a look at Troy this year and last year, they've got seniors that have never gone to the conference tournament. And I think that you should have that opportunity. So student athlete welfare tells me that all students should have an opportunity to go to postseason play. As a coach, I might think differently, but I just think as a student athlete that every student athlete should have that experience because it is a different experience to be able to have. But again, if you want to send your best teams, you want to do it in a way that creates excitement that you're talking about, then you should take 8. But again, I'm always for the student athlete, and I think that every student athlete should go, and not one should be left out, regardless of their record. I just think that they should have an opportunity to feel a part of the March Madness. And from a scheduling standpoint, with Coastal Carolina coming in the league next year, we're going to go from having played 20 league games back to playing 18. Yeah, and I think I like that. I think we play too many conference games right now. I think that going to 18 will be better. You can strengthen your RPI by playing more teams in your non-conference. I recommended that I never go to Louisiana and always go to Coastal Carolina since it's at Myrtle Beach. That's a great switch, Myrtle Beach to Louisiana. So I'll take that switch every time. But no, I think it's important that we do that. I think it's important that we have more non-league games so we can increase our RPI. All right, I've been asking all the questions. You ready to take some questions from the Panther fans? Sure, they're really tough, but I'll take them. All right, time now for questions for head coach Ron Hunter.
Hi, my name is Leah Strange, and I'm a journalism major. You're known for being a sharp dresser. Any new clothes for the conference tournament or staying with black?
Any new clothes for the conference tournament? No, I will go with the suit jacket and pants and socks and including the underwear that we have wins with. I'm very superstitious, so if we've got some things that we've had wins, that's what I'm going to wear.
Hi, my name is Brianna Allen, and I'm a journalism major here at GSU. Now that the conference tournament is upon us, what team surprised you the most in the Sun Belt this season?
Is there a team that surprised me the most this year? I would probably say Little Rock in the sense of where it came from. New coach came in and only losing 2 conference games. I thought that was surprising in a sense. But right now, with everyone being 0-0, I think that anyone can beat anyone on any given night. So it really doesn't matter. But probably the biggest surprise was Little Rock.
Hi, I'm Maya Gordon, a journalism major here at Georgia State. In the offseason, do you get together with other Sun Belt coaches? And who is your favorite opposing coach?
In the offseason, do I get together with any Sun Belt coaches? Absolutely not. Not because I don't like them. We're so spread out, it's kind of tough for us to get together. We see each other during the recruiting trail during the most of the time. But the only coach I usually hang out with is after the season, my family. Again, I don't get a lot of time during the season, so I don't spend a lot of time in the offseason with other coaches outside of my staff. All right, Coach, good questions this week. I hope that when we are sitting here next week on set, right here in the middle is the Sun Belt Conference Championship Trophy. That'd be really nice. I'd like to do that again. Let's try it again. All right, we'll see you here next week. See you next week. I want to thank head coach Ron Hunter coming in and joining us again. Busy time at Georgia State with the Sun Belt Conference basketball tournament, also baseball, softball, a host of other sports. Time now for On the Schedule. Here's what's coming up this week at Georgia State. Coming up this week at Georgia State on Saturday, March 12 at 1 p.m., men's tennis against Louisiana Lafayette. That'll be at the Blackburn Tennis Center. Also on Saturday, March the 12th at 2 p.m., baseball will host Lafayette out at the ballpark at Panthersville. Sunday, March 13th, the 1 o'clock first pitch, baseball in Game 2 against Lafayette. That'll again be at the ballpark at Panthersville. And coming up on Tuesday, March 15th, baseball against Savannah State at the ballpark at Panthersville. First pitch at 5 p.m., and coming up on Wednesday, March the 16th at 4 p.m. and at 6 p.m., softball will play a doubleheader against Western Carolina. The Catamounts pay a visit to the Bob Heck Softball Complex at Panthersville. And on Friday, March the 18th at 6 p.m., baseball hosting Arkansas State at the ballpark at Panthersville. And that's what's coming up this week in Georgia State Athletics. Back in studio here in the Georgia State Sports Update. I want to thank head coach Ron Hunter for coming in and joining us as he does each and every week. Right now we're going to
Turn the tide a little bit. We're going to talk Georgia State men's tennis. Pleased to be joined by second-year head coach Brett Ross. Brett, great to have you here in studio on the show this week. And your tennis team off to a good start, 7-3 in the first 10 matches. That's the best 10-game start so far. How's your team looking right now?
Yeah, I'm really proud of the guys, how we started. We've got a really young team. I came here a year and a half ago, and to be at this point where we are right now, this quickly, I'm really happy.
Now, you're a Wake Forest guy, if I've got that correctly. You played at Wake Forest. You were an assistant coach at Wake Forest, now the head coach at Georgia State. Talk a little bit about the transition, say, from an ACC school as a player and assistant to the Sun Belt Conference as a head coach.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I'm from Roswell, Georgia, so for me it was a homecoming.
Because you're a Centennial guy.
I'm a Centennial guy, yeah. So for me, I was just excited the opportunity to come back, and I feel like there's just so much potential here at Georgia State as a whole, the school, the athletics program, and especially with tennis. It's just Atlanta's just a huge tennis town. You know, as a lot of people know, there's Alta and a lot of USTA leagues, and people just love tennis here. There's a major pro tournament here as well. So I just felt like there's a lot of opportunity here, and I was fortunate enough to bring some great kids right off the bat, and to really have a strong team. So I'm used to the highest level, I guess, of college tennis, the ACC, and right now I think where our team is headed, we're headed toward that level right now. And when we play some of those teams, it's like we've seen earlier this year, it's really, we can battle with those teams. So.
Yeah, when I said Centennial guy, I'm talking Centennial High School in Roswell. He is a local guy. And as you mentioned, Brett hasn't been shy about scheduling top programs around the country. You've already faced 4 ranked teams this year. You've played Alabama, Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State, and Wichita State.
Yeah.
You really the challenging schedule early. You didn't shy away from that at all.
No, that's what we want, and that's what the kinds of players that I want are the guys that that want to play the highest level of college tennis. And so far we've done pretty well. We we got some wins at Wichita State. On the road, that's a tough place to play, and then actually East Tennessee State is ranked as well now, so that was another good win we had at home, and really we played Oklahoma State, who's ranked number 5 in the country. We were about a couple points from beating them, so that was a really big moment for our guys to kind of see that no matter who we play, we have a great chance because these guys are so talented. So we really came close to pulling off maybe one of the biggest wins ever in program history there, but I still think it gave us a lot of confidence.
And the number 1 player right now, because they're ranked, what are they, 1 through
6? We play 6 singles matches.
Yeah, so 1 through 6, your number 1 right now is a kid by the name of Giannis Koke. Let's talk a little bit about him and his game, and maybe a few of the other guys that are 1 through 6.
Yeah, coming here, I was lucky enough to have Giannis on the team. I mean, he's just like a coach's dream, He's our captain. He does everything right. He's got a 4.2 GPA. He's works hard every day, and he was a freshman Sun Belt of the year, all Sun Belt first 2 years, and most likely again this year. And he's been kind of in and out of the singles rankings too. So he just brings it every single day, and that's exactly what you want out of a guy. So we also have Zach Kennedy, who's an Atlanta kid. He's really coming on strong. He's had a couple ranked wins lately, and he's just a guy with a lot of potential. He's about 6'5" and one of the most athletic kids you've ever seen on a tennis court or wherever. So we also got some guys lower in the lineup that I feel like we could stick anywhere in the lineup, and it's a good problem to have. We got a lot of depth with our guys.
Depth is the key word in a lot of different sports, and it sounds like you've got it with this team this year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's, even if someone gets injured or something like that,
next man up.
We're never giving up a spot. That's for sure. And there's a lot of competition, and it's healthy competition for the guys every day in practice and everything.
All right, we mentioned that Georgia State men's tennis has already played, some Power 5 conference schools. You're going to face Louisiana Lafayette March 12 at the Blackburn Tennis Center here in Atlanta. That's the home courts of Georgia State tennis. That's the last home match. You guys are going to be living out of a suitcase.
Well, we had to move one. UNCW is going to be coming April 17th, so we had to move that one. But But yeah, I mean, I'm always excited to get the home matches. We've had some really good crowds. We actually been playing most of our matches at Piedmont Park. And you know, when the weather's great there, it's a great venue. So a lot of people come watch and are walking by, and there's a lot of good energy out there. So yeah, we're looking forward to Lafayette. That's obviously a big conference match. You know, the Sun Belt Conference is, you know, outside of the Power Five, you know, might be one of the best conferences in the country. So you know, it'll mean a lot if we do well in our conference, and you know, hopefully this year we can take a title.
How is the Sun Belt shaping up this year? Who are the teams you're keeping an eye on in Sun Belt tennis?
Yeah, right now I guess we're the team to beat. You know, that's what the rankings say. But you know, obviously there's a lot of tennis to be played, and you know, I think Troy won it last year, and you know, they've got a good team again, and Lafayette, South Alabama. UT Arlington, Georgia Southern, they all have good teams, and really when it comes down to the conference tournament, it's going to be about, you know, who's hot that week.
Where is the conference tournament this year?
It's in New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans. Okay, so same place as basketball. You ready to take some questions from the Panther fans?
Let's do it.
All right, we're talking Georgia State men's tennis with head coach Brett Ross. Time now for questions for Coach Brett Ross from the Georgia State fan base.
Hi, I'm Katrina Dygert. My major is film, and I want to know, when you're making your schedule for the year, what type of balance do you look for in terms of home matches and road matches?
I think the ideal thing is to play at home every day, but you know, right now we're in the position where we're trying to play the best teams in the country, so that means that we have to travel a little bit. But you know, I think as our team grows and our ranking gets higher, we'll get to have more and more home matches.
Hi, this is Janae Thompson. I'm a film major. And what is the most important part of the game for a college tennis player?
I think the most important part of the game is honestly balancing the off-court, the schoolwork, and all of that with your tennis, and making sure that you can come out to practice every day with a great mentality and be relaxed and focused.
I'm Georgiana Harris. I'm an MA Film student at Georgia State, and I have a question for Coach. I've heard you're a pretty good tennis player. Can you tell me about some of the events you've competed in?
Yeah, thanks. I guess I played in the juniors with a guy named John Isner, who's about 10 in the world. We played doubles together at the Junior US Open, and we finished second in the country. And then I played a lot of kind of lower level pro tournaments throughout my career. So you know, now I'll play a prize money tournament here and there, and you know, it's always fun to compete.
All right, good questions this week, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave.
I like that last question. You ranked among the top 10 in singles and doubles at Wake Forest.
That's right.
Name's still on some of the record books.
Won some matches, yeah. Hopefully they're getting better and better, so hopefully it stays there for a while.
All right, well, great having you in here, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, I want to thank Brett Ross, the men's tennis coach at Georgia State. Also, again, want to thank head coach Ron Hunter for joining us. That'll do it for the show this week. For the entire crew, I'm Dave Cohen. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right here next week on the Georgia State Sports Update.